Welcome to Legacy Conversations, a channel where we preserve military memories and history.
Hello everyone, it's Chris here. Welcome to Phuket. Man, it's 43 degrees outside and about 100% humidity, so it is really warm. Luckily here in the studio where we do the Zoom recordings, it's actually kind of nice. There's no heating here because we got the air cons running, quick internet and everything, and it's just great. I'm also borrowing Rebecca's chair. She's not here yet. You can see my hair is still long. Once you see me, Mr. Baldy, again in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks from now, you'll know she's back. And you'll also see me that I'm on a different chair. Her chair is just better than mine. And of course, we do sit here for a few hours when we record. And you can just as well be comfortable. Now, I've got some news for you. I want to discuss with you the latest figures and stats we got from YouTube. And also give you some feedback on our new studio. Just making a note as I write here, I don't really prepare these things. I just speak extemporare. In other words, I just speak from my heart. And that's one of the things at Legacy which I actually like. I don't want people to over-prepare. Because if they over-prepare and they look too smooth, always people will think they are not for real actually. They are more like, almost like actors. And we're not like that at all. If there's one thing which we are at Legacy, it's real. We are real people. Now, I'm going to show you a slide. That is the statistics for the entire time that Legacy existed, which would be about 2 years and 11 months. Somewhere in May, I believe on the 21st of May, the first video came out. I know the day well because for me it was like a new beginning. It's also the day, of course, which I lost my late wife to death. And so I brought it out on that day as a new beginning to start with something else. And I wish to thank all of you. I wish to thank all of you who supported us, likes, subscribes, spreading the word, coming to speak to us. You are brave people speaking to us. And also for those who financially supported us, I want to thank you. So let us look at this slide. This is the slide as it is like on today, which is the 9th of April. And you will see we have about 2.6 million views. Precisely 2,560,322. You know what, in 10 minutes from now, that 322 might be 323, I don't know. There's always something happening. You'll also see that in total, we were watched tremendously, 667,000 hours. There's the 700 as well in between. Man, I'm not good at maths. I'm really not good at accounting either. But there you can see that's well over 500,000 hours of views. Let us see how much is that how much would that be in years or weeks, total views. It's always interesting to me, these statistics, because they don't really mean that much. I mean, you can prove anything with statistics, but let us see what it is. According to my calculations, the 667,000 hours, 700, whatever, comes down to 76 years. That means that if somebody were watching the YouTube videos of Legacy for 24 hours a day, non-stop, no breaks, it would take him 76 years to watch all these videos. So I understand now why some of the liberals are really upset with the channel. Which brings me to another thing. We are being shadow banned. Now, for you who don't know what shadow banning is, the channel is still there. It is up. You can find it if you search for it. But in the background, the search engines are tweaked to make sure that you don't get the views which you probably deserve. We've proved this. I mean, I went on Fighting Men of Rhodesia and I spoke about getting the Rhodesians, come and talk to us as well. And we had about 4,000 and something views within a week. Well, at Legacy, we couldn't even get 1,000. Now you can say to me, okay, because it's not a real topic. I mean, fair enough, fair enough. We tried that with Peter Baxter. We tried that with Andre Willifeer. We will soon try it with Steve Murray. And hopefully a few others. And guess what? Exactly the same video. There's no difference. There might be a different intro. There might be a different ending, but it's 99% the same video. And this is done with, of course, the guest participation with his permission. And guess what? They have between 4 and 6 times more views. Now, yes, you can also say to me, look, we have 17,000 subscribers. We have about 10,000. We're 75 people away from 10,000. And that actually excites me because everyone is telling me that 10,000 seems to be the thing, once again, for their search engines, unless it's befuddled like it is here, where things starts happening with the channel. Now, I will not agree that because one channel has 17,000 subscribers, the other one has 10,000, that you get 4 to 8 times more views. No, logic tells me it can be double. That I would say, yeah, fine, might be, but not that much. So we're definitely being suppressed here. The reason we're being suppressed, I think, has to do with the Israeli conflict, which I made that decision to broadcast, and I stand by it. I'm not ashamed of anything. And I explained my reasons in another video, which you can go and look at if you want to. And then, of course, the liberals, I think they are a bit upset with all these views, even if it's suppressed. Then they probably complain in the background, and so, they smear us as being a obscure apartheid era type of channel. It's, they're basically calling us Nazis, all sorts of things like that, which is, this is just insane. I mean, most of you you had no choice. You had to go to the army or wherever you went to. A lot of us volunteered. But as far as I'm concerned, we were fighting communism. We weren't really fighting for apartheid. And I think anybody who's been in combat will agree with me. You fight for your body next to you. And may I say so, survival, and may I say so, for God, the Christian one. Or some people were fighting for other gods. That's fine. But the attack against us was very real. I think you're being silly to deny it. It was happening, and it did happen. And we're also now broadcasting some of the security police members who were dealing with this internally, this great onslaught, die rooi gevaar. Yeah, these liberals laugh about it these days, but let me tell you, it was very, very real. I know in the police we had exceeding amount of stress on us all the time because we would go to the borders like anybody else, and there we would, I would say, have fun. And that's what we could do. Our best efforts in counterinsurgency, sometimes counter terrorism, sometimes a combination of both. And then, may I say, we were very successful. And then you get back into South Africa, and you're not wearing camouflage anymore. You're wearing your blue uniform, or you're a detective. You wear your suit and tie. And on formal occasions in those days, the detectives were supposed to even wear a little hat, like a trilby hat or something there. And then you were dealing with some of the worst criminals and things which you can imagine. I mean, unless you've walked into a crime scene where you see multiple rapes, where you see a family wiped out, and man, it's not like the movies. You smell the blood, especially if you only discover a crime scene a few days later, or man, it's just horrible. And in the background, of course, there were always those terrorist attacks taking place. And of course, you're actually trying to walk into these people, and several times, in my case, we did, and shootouts would follow, and we would win. But you had tremendous amount of stress upon you. You were always fighting. You never stopped fighting. And it was hard, especially in the townships, things like that. So don't tell me that rooi gevaar or the red danger that is supposed to be the communist angle of it, which is very real. It existed. Of course, it existed. And the liberals, they don't want to hear our stories. They don't want to hear anything from you people. You must just shut up and you must just sit there and be quiet. And for many years, I'm afraid to say, we did exactly that. We shut up, we sat in the back, and we got quiet. And no one was really interested. I mean, I can't remember wearing my medals ever in public before, ever. I cannot remember even attending parades and things. So that's why I'm so like, guys, if you were like me, please get out there, get and support your local MOFs, support your groups, um, your former mates. Go to these meetings, do the best you can. Go to these meetings, attend these meetings, wear your medals with pride. And above all, come and talk to us, or at least tell your children what you've done, because it's a fact of life that we're getting older, and because we're getting older, at some stage, we're gonna die, and there will be no one left to speak, unless you're on programs like this, and we can actually see you speaking, hear you speaking. With some of us, the presenters asking some questions in the background, which somebody might be finding very insightful. And that's it, leave a legacy behind. Don't just let it go. You were important. Don't let anybody tell you you were unimportant and you were fighting for the apartheid regime, as they keep on telling me. I recall when I wrote my police books, my memoirs. Oh man, were I getting flack from all these horrible people? I mean, apparently I can't spell. Oh, that might be true. Let's blame the teachers. But you know what? They nitpick. And they do the same with legacy. So they just attack us all the time relentlessly. But we're not scared. As you know, we have backup channels at Odyssey as well as Rumble. And so I don't fear YouTube at all. Not at all. We close this channel here. I'll just carry on with the channel at Rumble, which is a lot more free speech, if you ask me, and many other people, famous journalists who will say that to you. And where shadow banning and those things really don't take place. Now, shadow banning, as I explained, is where you don't have abuse you should have, or at least it's not reported. You know, there's a funny thing here. I spoke to I spoke to some mathematicians, these wiskunnigers and clever people smarter than me. And they all say to me, this makes no sense. You can't have like 20,000 hours a month of views, which is a lot. That's 5 or 6 years of views a month, while you at the same time only have, you know, 2, 3, 4,000 views on an episode. You should have a lot more. This makes no sense. And so we know we're being shadow banned. I'm not scared of it. And then lastly, you would have noticed in this statistic I gave you is that apparently YouTube says we made $700 out of this. You know my feelings on advertising on the videos. I'm totally against it. I can't stop it. So we had to join the program. We have not been paid 1 single cent. Not 1 cent. We haven't been paid anything. So that's nonsense. That's one of YouTube's scams. What they do is they bulk it up and they will tell you, oh, okay, you know what? We pay you when you have $100 and we pay you. We're going to pay you. Then you get to $100 and nothing happens. Suddenly it drops to $95 and you're still not paid. And then it goes up to 110 again. Bingo, it drops down. We haven't received 1 cent of it. So you can ignore that. We will probably never see that money. And so what? One of those things. And they make it also very, very difficult for the creators, especially a channel like ours, to be actually paid. You know, they find fault with everything. As far as I'm concerned, I don't care about YouTube at all. Not at all. If I say again to you, you people better find out where the Rumble channel is and where the Odyssey channel is. I know nobody looks at the videos there, but that is where all the backups are. And if we have enough nonsense from these people and they finally ban us, you know what? We'll just carry on at another place. And that's my message for you. I want to thank you once again when I started this, after that dream I had of the cross I saw in the sky, you all know the story by now. It is nothing new. I speak about it often. I never expected even to reach 10,000 views. And I remember how excited I was when we had 50 subscribers. And then it became like 1,000. And I thought, wow, I can't believe it's 1,000 people. And now we're really, really close to 10,000. And let's see what happens then. I'll report back to you once again soon. And I also want to thank my Patreons. Whoever wants contributing, whoever wants is paying here, so that the rest of you can see for free. And I want to thank them for standing by us. They're very loyal people. You know, in the last 2 months, we haven't lost a single Patreon. Not one. They all win. And the money which comes in through them is easily accessible, and we're using it for diesel, for fuel, some equipment. We're trying to get people to record people we would never be able to record otherwise. Doors are opening, I praise God. And I also have statistics from which playlists are doing the best by far, or not by far actually, by a slight margin, Special Forces. And then 3-2 Battalion, those are the two playlists which are leading. The one very last, right at the bottom of the list, is our Chaplain's Corner. But you know what? We will never give up with our Chaplain's Corner. It is just once again, I can see all these attacks from, from people who just don't want to hear the news. They don't want to hear from us. They want to hear from you. So guys, stand by me. Stand by Legacy. Stand by all of us who's trying to make a difference here. Okay, this is the Legacy studio. You actually come out of our bedroom, which is here. Our bedroom in the hotel. It's fairly standard. All the rooms look something like that. En suite, good aircon, of course. It's warm in this place. And then you walk out and you walk over a bridge. You can see all of these things actually on a separate channel, which, if you're interested, Rebecca had this made for me. Of course, it's just not only me, it is also other people there. And then you open the door and you walk into the production house, I would call it. Some say it's just an office. Anyway, here's the big computer where we do all the editing and things. Really good computer. The specifics on these computers is really, really high. The specs on this computer is really high. It's got 96 gigabytes of RAM and a very quick water-cooled Intel processor i13. And there's some cameras where we keep watch on what's happening on the hotel. Rebecca's place where she sits down when she's here. Yeah, and then we get to where we do the Zoom once. You can say hello to Kat, it's lying asleep. Here's the Zoom studio. This is what it looks like. There's the light behind me, that's important. We got the big lights here. We probably need better lights than that. We're recording from a laptop. It's a high-spec laptop. It's a good one. It's called Predator or something. And this is purposely built. So you would sit here and then you would be looking at the laptop in front of you, using the camera inside it. Standard, got an extra mic, got an aircraft there looking at me. Everything is protected against surge. You have protection against mosquitoes, they kind of get you by the ankle if you're not careful. You have a backup disk, and then you also have a network running with this cable. Network cable goes up all the way here, all the way through down here again, and then it goes into this hub right there. We built everything ourselves, and then it goes into that big computer, and that's when we can edit on this side. So that is what the Zoom room looks like, and it's going to keep on looking like this. We also have a big cameras here. It's got a better lens. When I got it in South Africa, in the meantime we got better lenses. We got other cameras as well, Rebecca's, which we can use, and this camera as well as the other one, the M50, will go upstairs. And then this room is only going to be used for Zoom. And let me show you what's happening upstairs. It's actually quite something to see. I have to say, well, if you want to know what this used to look like, you have to go to the dedicated renovation channel. I'll put the link in at the back. But basically what we have here is a small horrible room. That window really looks like that. We found it like that. And we decided, let's paint it. Let's put this background color on it. We're still busy with it. I'll make a video when we're done, a proper one, and we'll show you what it looks like. This is for people actually coming to visit us, and we record them in the studios. Much bigger cameras, much higher quality. And yeah, it's got ensuite as well, but yeah, still lots of work. And that's it. I'll show you more later. So, as we say here at Legacy, or I do anyway, God bless. God bless you all until we meet again. Thanks for you. You're appreciated here at Legacy.
Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and ring the bell to receive notifications.